Assalamu alaikum students, this is Rahil Shahzad, your maths instructor for SAT Maths. This is my lecture number 1 on this. So since it's the beginning, so let's have the basics or structure of exam, structure of the paper, how it is going to be. Guys, maths portion in SAT exam is of 800 marks. There are two sections. Number one is non-calculator portion and second section would be calculator portion. In non-calculator portion, we are not allowed to use calculators, but in second one, we can use calculators, okay? So when we talk about total number of questions, we have 20 questions we have 20 questions in non-calculator portion, and the total time allowed for doing these 20 questions is 25 minutes. Similarly, in section number 2, when we have, which is calculator portion, total questions are 38 and total time allowed to do these questions is 55 minutes. Okay, let's discuss type of questions. Now, what type of questions would be there in SAT exams? There are basically two types of questions. Number one is known as multiple choice questions or MCQs. So in this portion, in this section, 20 questions out of 20 questions, 15 questions are MCQs and 5 questions would be students produced responses. Okay, you just need to do a bit calculations and before submitting your answers. In section number 2, calculator portion, we have 38 questions and 55 minutes are given for these 38 questions. Okay, when we talk about type of questions, there are MCQs, 30 MCQs and 8 student produced responses. Okay, so this is basic structure of SAT Maths, SAT 1 usually it is known as. Okay, so now let's move to the first topic that we are going to discuss here, that is a linear function. Okay, so our first topic in SAT is linear function. If its graphical interpretation is linear function always represent a straight line. So we would say linear function always represents a straight line graph. Okay, it is straight line graph. It is always representing a straight line graph. So you can see, and generally it is written as f of x is equal to mx plus c. So we used to write the straight line equation y equals to mx plus c as well, okay, in which this c was known as y-intercept. This c is your y-intercept, okay, and this m is basically slope or gradient. Okay, for example, here we have, suppose we have 2 points on this straight line. This is a and let's assume this is b. So first point is x1 and y1, the second one is going to be x2 and y2, right? So we know that slope is always equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, and this point is C, the point where any line cuts y-axis is known as y-intercept. So linear function always represent a straight line graph, right? Now as far as their different formats are concerned, we have f of x is equal to ax plus b, or sometimes we basically write it as mx plus c. Second format is like y minus y1 is equal to m into x minus x1. Third is ax plus by plus c is equal to 0, or ax plus by equals to c. These all are the formats that are used for linear functions. Okay, so now for instance, here you go, let's solve these questions. Okay, so guys, let's start the first topic, and this is question number 1. It's given that for a linear function f of 0 is 2, right? So f of 0 is 2. It's given that means this is also x, this is y, okay, and f of 3 is 5. This is x, this is always y. This is x and this is your y. Like it is given that f of 5 is equal to k. Always remember that y is always expressed as f of x. So ordered pair would always be x and y. So what it is, 0 and 2. Let's assume this be a point A. 3 and 5, let's suppose this is your point B, and let's suppose third one is 5 and k, and we need to find for a linear function, okay, what is value of k. Now we know that if this is a linear function, so all points lying on one straight line are collinear as well. Okay, so this is point A, B and C, suppose given A, B and C. We say these points be collinear. Okay, collinear points are the points that lie on one straight line, and since it is a linear function, it is representing a straight line. So collinear points be points lying on one straight line. So that would be gradient of AB must be equal to gradient of B and C. We would be using this strategy, is equal to gradient of AC, in case you require this. So right now we will be simply doing gradient of AB, that is equal to gradient of BC. Okay, so if I find gradient of AB, that is 5 minus 2 divided by 3 minus 0 is equal to, it's k minus 5 divided by 5 minus 3. So it's going to be 5 minus 2 is 3 divided by 3 is equal to k minus 5 divided by 2. You can cancel this 3 and 3. So cross multiplying, this will be 2 is equal to k minus 5. When you bring 5 here, it's 2 plus 5, that makes it k. So value of k is equal to 7. So which option is 7? It is C. Got it? So option C is the answer for this question number 1. Let's move to question 2 now. Okay, now here again, remember this is x and this is y. Okay, these are x and y. So x is 0, y is a. Again, the table above shows some values of the function f if f is a linear function. Okay, now you need to remember that if it is a linear function, this is going to represent a straight line. Okay, points will be lying on one straight line if this is a linear function. What is value of AB? So let's assume these are points A, B and C, that be 0A, 1, 12 and 2 and B. Let's name them A, B and C. We know that if they are linear, if this is a linear function, then gradient of AB must be equal to gradient of B and C. So gradient of AB is going to be 12 minus A divided by 1 minus 0 equals gradient of BC. It's B minus 12 divided by 2 minus 1. So it's going to be 12 minus A is equal to B minus 12. And you bring, when you rearrange it, it's 12 plus 12 is equal to A plus B, that makes it 24. So in this question, they are asking for value of A plus B. So in this case, this is 24. So A is my answer. Is that clear? Okay, let's move to next part now. Okay, for the next question, we have a linear function is given by this ax plus by. If it is given that a is positive and b is negative and c is positive, which of the following graphs best represent the graph of the function? Now, whenever we have such kind of situation, it's always better to, rearrange it in the form of y equals to mx plus c. So it is ax plus by plus c equals 0. So let's rearrange it. By equals to, it's minus ax minus c, and then y is equal to minus a divided by bx minus c divided by b. Now it's given that b is negative. So if b is negative, this negative is equalize this negative, that will make y-intercept positive. Okay, again, the gradient a is positive and b is negative, that will make the gradient be positive. So in this situation, we have y-intercept positive here, and gradient is also, like, there are 2 points where y-intercept is positive in A and D, but in A gradient is negative, but from this gradient is positive, that means D is my final answer. I hope you got it. Okay, next is question number 4, which states if f is a linear function. Again, remember, whenever we have a linear function, that would be a kind of hint that this is a straight line. And whenever the concept of straight line is there, it must imply that points are collinear, they are lying on one straight line and their gradients be same. So again, this is x, this is y. So let's suppose point A is 3 and 2. Let's suppose point B is 5 and 6. Because you see, this is x, this is y, okay? Y-intercept. Now, y-intercept is always like a point where any line cuts y-axis. So it's 0 and C, let's suppose. Because x coordinate is always 0 and y coordinate we see. So if this is a linear function and these points are lying on one straight line, then its gradient of AB is equal to gradient of BC. So gradient of AB is going to be 6 minus 2 divided by 5 minus 3. That is equal to C minus 6 divided by 0 minus 5. And then, 6 minus 2 is 4. 2 C minus 6 divided by minus, that's going to be 0 minus 5. So it's minus 5. So 2 2s are 4, that be minus 10 is equal to C minus 6. So C is equal to minus 10 plus 6 B minus 4. So your answer is D in this case. Okay. Similarly, in question number 5, we have f is a linear function. Again, same story. X is 3, y is minus 2. So let's suppose this be A, it's 3 and minus 2. Again, this is point B, that be 4 and minus 4. What is x-intercept? Now, x-intercept is the point where any line cuts x-axis. So, C point B, x and 0. Okay. And if it is a linear function, it is representing a straight line. And we know that if it is a straight line, so gradient of AB is always equal to gradient of BC. So, that's equal to minus 4 plus 2 divided by 4 minus 3 is equal to 0 minus 4 divided by x minus 4. And we have like minus 2 divided by 1 is equal to 4 divided by x minus 4. We do cross multiplication here. That be minus 2x plus 8 equals to 4. So 4 is equal to 2x, x is equal to 2. So C be my final answer in this case. Question number 6 is, it is given that this is point A, this is point B, and this is C. It is given that a graph of the function is shown in xy plane if B is equal to 2A. So B is equal to 2A. What's the value of A? So again, gradient of AB and BC and CA. So gradient of AB, let's put it equal to gradient of BC, right? So gradient of AB is going to be 2A minus 3 divided by A minus 0 is equal to gradient of BC, that is going to be 0 minus 2A divided by 5 minus A. So, you can cross multiply it. It's 2A minus 3 times 5 minus A is equal to minus 2A square. So that's 10A minus 2A square, and then minus 15 plus 3A equals to minus 2A square. So it's going to be cancelled out. So 13A is equal to 15 and A is equal to 15 by 13. So C is the answer for this case, right? Okay, in next question we have, okay, again we have same kind of question, but here we can directly tell some values that this is x and y. Okay, now these are hints, x and y. So you could draw a sketch. 0 4 means this is the point, and 2 0 means this is the point. 2 0 and 0 and 4. Remember, the table above shows some values of linear function. Now it's a linear function. For the selected values of x, which of the following represent the function? We know that y is always equal to mx plus c. Okay, now c is obvious in this question, it's 4. Okay, for gradient it's always rise over run, but if line is going down, that be fall over run. So it's negative 4 by 2. It's negative 4 by 2, that makes it minus 2. So minus 2x plus 4. Okay, so minus 2x plus 4, B is the case here, right? Okay, in next question number 8, we have the Fahrenheit and Celsius are related by the equation above. If Fahrenheit temperature increased by 27, what is the degree increase in Celsius? Okay. Now you need to understand that the gradient function, this is always rise over run. Okay, so let's assume that if this be a function, suppose this is 0.32 and this is a gradient function, that tells you 9 by 5. That's like rise over run. Gradient is always equal to rise over run. Got it? Gradient is always equal to rise over run. So it's like 9 by 5. Okay. And now they want us to find out if like the rise is 27. So this would be like, if this is 27, what this is going to be. Okay. So it was 9 by 5. So 27 by x. These are similar triangles. Okay. So you could say 9 threes are 27. So x is equal to 15 is the answer. Right. Same goes with the second question as well. Suppose this is again, this is p and k. If p increased by 35, okay, again that is 7 by 12. You need to remember that the gradient is always rise over run. So this is 7 is rise and 12 is run. So if rise is rather 35, what will be run? So again 7 by 12 must be equal to 35 by x. So 7 5s are 35, cross multiplication 12 5s are 60. So 60 is the answer, B is the answer, right? Okay, in next question, here is the question. The xy plane above a circle is tangent to the line, the x-axis and the y-axis. If the radius of the circle is 5, what is value of t? 7, 8, 9 or 10. So in this case, have a look. The only information we have is radius. So this is radius, that is 5. Okay, so is this 5. And we can say that this is also 5. Okay. What does this mean by this is 5 is that on x-axis this is 5. Similarly, this is always x and y. So 8t means that on x-axis this is 8. So if this is 8, from 5 to 8, what this should be 3. This length should also be 3. And this is 5, so is this 5. Okay, if I manage to find this x in this right angle triangle, okay, this will help me to find exact value of t. So in this right angle triangle, this is 3, this is 5 and this is x. We know that Pythagoras theorem that states 5 square equals x square plus 3 square, right? So it's 25 minus 9 is equal to x square, 16. So x is going to be 4. So x is 4. So 5 plus 4 is 9. So value of t is 9. I guess we have an option. Yes, here it is. It is option C. I hope you got it. See you in next lecture. So till then, I want you to revise this thing and practice well. See you in my next video. Okay. So Allah Hafiz, take care.